Yo, yo, yo. What's good? What's good? It's Stormybman, and I am back. Welcoming you to the post-fight show with Stormybman for this Friday, February 16th, 2024. This is the post-fight show for Foster versus Nova, the WBC Junior Lightweight title. Just finished up on ESPN, and we're here to talk about the fight card a little bit and salute to the two fighters that gave a very resounding effort where we saw O'Shaquie Foster prevail with a split decision victory over Abraham Nova. Not that I agree with the type of decision. I thought it should have been unanimous, but at the same time, the right man won the fight, and we are here to talk about it a little bit. No Friday night chop session tonight because it was a night of championship boxing, both on ESPN as well as on DAZN. I elected to watch the ESPN card, and after this show, I will go and watch the DAZN rematch between Curiel and Nanshinka. And please don't spoil it for me if it's all over already, because I want to go and watch it in its entirety myself. And if you decide that you're going to come in here and try to spoil it, then you will be banned out from the chat this evening. I'm serious with that. Stormy don't play with that kind of thing. But I want to say salute to everybody that's out there. Thank you for stopping in. We're going to talk a little bit about this card that took place. Man, I did a fight breakdown video featuring these two men. I talked about them possibly putting on the type of effort that would really resonate with audiences. I felt that this was a good clash of styles. The two men are the same age. They're in the weight class where they can provide a great deal of activity. That junior lightweight division is something else. And they did deliver. Abraham Nova came out aggressive, trying to establish himself for something early, but it is not a race. It's a marathon. And Oshaki, who has proven himself to be built to last, a fighter who can go late into fights and provide you with power late in the fights. So, and we saw that on display this evening. He did seem to suffer some type of injury around the 5th round when he was trying to get after Abraham with a right hand, and he looked like he caught an elbow to the bicep or something like that. That kind of took a little bit of starch off of his punch. But I'm going to tell you something. Oshaki is a heck of a fighter, man. He is a spirited fighter. He knows how to make adjustments. He will rise to the occasion. He's got very good footwork out there. I like what I see in this young man. And the fact that he's having these tough fights coupled with victories, what's on display is the fact that he can win in a number of ways. He can outbox you. He can outfight you. He can outpunch you. He can knock you out. And when you're versatile like that, people need to take note, man. They need to take note. But a great opportunity to see some good boxing on a Friday night, and I was not disappointed in the least. Not at all. So let me go to the chat and see who we got in the building as we run it down. Universal Truth is out there saying salute Sensei. Lamont Griffin is out there saying salute Sensei and the chat family. Anthony Bolton is back saying salute. Universal says the judges losing their minds once again. Yes, sir. Shawalaya's out there saying Shabbat Shalom, Stormy, and chat. William Old School is back with us. What's good with you, William? He says salute, my brother. And y'all smash the like button, people, when entering the building. Peace. Yeah. Shower's out there with those channel emojis. I appreciate that. She says, hit the like. Sylvester is back saying salute. Joe the Beast in the building saying salute. Nazim the Dream, True Boxing Talk is out there saying salute. They tried it. Oshaki won the fight 8 rounds to 4. I'm getting tired of them with these BS cards. If a fighter is winning, he shouldn't have to come out of his style because of BS scoring. We'll talk about that a little bit. Shawa is saluting William, and William says exactly, an elbow to the bicep. Yeah. Though we only have a few there writing in the chat, the views are up and up and up. We appreciate that as well. Listen, man. We just watched last week where Teofimo Lopez got a unanimous decision with runaway scorecards of a fight that he did not win against Jermaine Ortiz. And tonight we see Oshaki put in a stellar performance in which he is awarded a split decision victory, even though he knocked down Abraham Nova in the 12th round. Listen, man, I agree with Nazim, the Dream. These BS judges' scorecards and fighters not being able to be awarded their victories by the judges correctly, whatever agenda that they serving, it is totally obvious now that it is beyond the sport of boxing. They are working towards something. And if a fighter doesn't do what he's supposed to do, he could have things taken away from him. And even when he does what he does, he could still yet have things taken away from him. It is not a good look for the sport. And I'm telling you, I wish that some of our content creators would focus in, dial in, zero in on these subjects like this instead of waffling back and forth on who's the better fighter between Haney and Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson and all of that malarkey. You need to talk about the corruption of the sport and how fighters who have trained, who have made sacrifice, who have done the things that they need to do to turn in the best of themselves as a performer in that ring, they should be awarded their victories and losses accordingly. And I'm always going to sound the horn for that, because I believe in you don't award bad behavior, Teofimo Lopez, and slight other people who do their best, as in O'Shaquie Foster. Yeah. And even in representing himself in interviews as well as pre-fight, post-fight interviews, O'Shaquie conducted himself very well. I loved it. His grandma was there with him to watch the fight. Listen, man, there are certain fighters, and I talk about this all the time, in the sport that we should give shine to. I did my pre-fight breakdown video on these two gentlemen well over a week ago, but I aired it yesterday morning because I knew that it was worth tuning in. Stormybman is about that. I tell you guys all the time, if you don't watch my pre-fight stuff and the videos, I'm talking about a great deal of other things circling the sport of boxing, but not necessarily this over and over twos and fews of those who you always find in others' news. I don't do that foolishness. Not about that at all. And that's not to slam anybody for what they do. It's just that I found a way to talk about the sport and the individuals who deserve to have a light shine upon them because of what they bring. Now, some people don't like these lower weight fighters, but again, if you tuned in to this match tonight, you saw quality boxing. These two men were trying to outthink one another at first. You could see O'Shaquie has switched to being a southpaw, which he can do that from time to time, but this wasn't the night to do that. So when he done that, and Abraham was able to pick up a couple of rounds early, I was like, man, if you don't get your butt out of that southpaw stance and go back to fighting orthodox and box this man, counter punch, counter his counters. And it became a game of chess. Abraham leans over his front foot and knee a great deal. And once O'Shaquie was able to get the timing down for that, the rest was history. You could see where he was countering. There was some tremendous body work done by O'Shaquie. He threw some left hooks and uppercuts to the body that were tremendously debilitating for Nova. Nova was winded by about the 6th or 7th round. You could see it. He didn't elect to go to O'Shaquie's body enough as I listened to the call by my brother BFTB, Best Fight the Best Boxing, excellent call on the fight this evening, he stated, why are you not going to Oshaki's body? But that's okay, because I wanted Oshaki to win. So it's not that I had anything against Abraham. I think Abraham is the coolest dude in boxing who's got his own mascot, huh? That's an amazing thing that this young man thought of something like that, and he walks around and the doggone mascot looked just like him. How they do that? It's like the doggone mascot looked more like Abraham Nova than Abraham Nova. But he should have had a little blood on his beard when the fight was over like Abraham, so they could really look like twins. But yeah, overall, a darn good fight, technical fight. You saw a lot of real pure boxing here. You saw punching, jabbing, counter punching. I loved Oshaki's head movement early in the fight. When we talk about fighters getting their head off of center line, watch the first 4 to 5 rounds of this fight where you see Oshaki moving that head, y'all. See, that's something important there. When you moving the head, even when you're not punching, but you're in front of the guy, you're not giving him something free. You're making him think constantly all the time. That's a fighter who's well trained. And I noticed that. And he also had, no pun intended, a shotgun jab. Oshaki's jab was mean tonight. He put some meat on that thing, and he was able to do some things with that. Later in the fight, we saw Nova's people, they threw a bottle of water in the ring where it spilled water everywhere because he got a little winded in them last few rounds, and they was trying to stall because when they started cleaning up the water, they looked like 2 90-year-old men out there trying to wipe the water up real slow like. I was like, look at this foolishness here, man. And Nova, listen, decent fighter. He's not great like he says he is. He's nowhere near. But the elbows and everything like that, my brother, you're going to have to knock that out. Or somebody going to knock you out as a result of those dirty tactics. I don't like dirty tactics from fighters like that. Now, dirty stuff happens during fights, but you seem to be a proponent of elbows. And I'm going to tell you something. When that gets on tape and people see that, hey, it ain't going to be pleasant for you going down the line in the future. That's all I'm going to say. But Oshaki fought well. He was pinned against the ropes a few times by Nova, but he paid for it, meaning Nova paid for it when Oshaki spin him up out of there and put that left hook on his jaw and dropped him in the 12th round. Listen, he tried to say, oh, you saw my foot come out from under me, I slipped or whatever. Yeah, whatever. You and your cornerman pouring a lake of water on the canvas, huh? You deserve to slip after a shot to your jaw, huh? You probably deserved an elbow to the jaw, as far as Stormy is concerned, because I don't like that foolishness. But still, Oshaki was focused, and he fought like a champion. This is the second time in his last couple of fights that he had to really bite down in the later rounds to pull his fight out and retain his title. Now, I call this show the WBC Junior Lightweight title, broadcast on ESPN. I will not refer to Oshaki as a titleist. I will call him a champion because his reign has begun. He's had 3 defenses in 3 championship fights and has prevailed. He looks good, he talks good, and he gives forth the type of effort that people like to see when you talk about a professional fighter at the top of the sport. I'm telling you, he's that guy, and he did some really, really good things in his past couple of fights, man. Really did. I enjoyed this fight this evening. I'd like to see Oshaki again. He said he had a little problem with weight cuts, so probably wasn't minding his diet, but he still came out there and he performed. Now, on the judges and their scorecards, what the heck, man? That one judge who had it 114 to 113 for Abraham Nova, I mean, are you serious? Including the knockdown in the 12th round? I would like to know whether or not that judge gave credit of the knockdown. You know, we've seen these judges not give credit for knockdowns, like when Tank Davis knocked down Ryan Garcia. That judge didn't give him the knockdown in that round. What are they doing? These judges are just kind of making it up as they go. Serious. And kudos and salute to the referee, Steve Wills. That man, he's one of the best referees that never gets any of the biggest major fights. That man was invisible out there tonight, as a referee should be. He was yelling at the fighters to work their way out of clinches, fight their way out, you know, things of that nature. Every once in a while, he might have to step in and separate them for a quick second, but he was not the star of the show. The fighters were the star of the show tonight, and the judges still tried to take the spotlight from the fighters. Ridiculous. But salute to Steve Wills doing his thing. I really respect that referee. He does his thing, man. He does it, and he does it very well. I believe that he deserves some bigger fights. Now, there may be a situation where they've asked him to work some bigger fights and he didn't take them. And that's okay too, because if he decides to not take a fight, that may mean more about the actual fight that's taking place that they may be asking him to officiate over than about getting paid or anything like that. So, but he's one of the best referees, one of the best. So yeah, let me see. We can go back to the chat for a minute, see who we got up here. William says, I still think if Foster would have circled away from the ropes and hit Nova on the way out, he might have finished Nova. Well, you know what? I'm sure if that elbow to the bicep situation didn't occur, he might have had a little more firepower for Nova late in the fight there, William. You can't get away from that situation because he fought through it like a champ, you know what I mean? But he was very poker face about it. He never showed weakness outside of when it first happened, when he was shaking his arm out, but he didn't really show that it was hurting him throughout the fight, except for in that 12th round, he kind of did a little something again. But you know what? Man, Oshaki is a hell of a fighter, man. Please give this young man his respect, because he's getting it done. There's far less fighters getting more support and getting more airtime and everything. Listen, I like what's going on with him. I like how his corner works with him. The instructions that they give him, they're always keeping him abreast of where he is in the fight. Yeah. Shower says, yes, the circus antics. Yeah. Nova's people, you know, that's what desperate folks do. They try to find ways to get around the rules, huh? There's always gonna be somebody like that. It don't matter where you're from. It's just people like that. The nature of man. Yeah. Anthony Bolton says, yes, sir, Stormy. I really like Shock's use of the jab and his uppercuts and hooks on the inside. Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. Listen, he had some meat on that jab, boy. I'm telling you. Once Abraham was hit with that jab a couple of times early in the fight, he stepped back and moved away for a moment because that jab was punishing, man. And Oshaki, you know, it's funny. it wasn't like he was really trying to get after him with it or something. He was just boxing and going about his work. But he needs to go back and study his own tapes, because if he does that, that jab right there that he has, that's a shotgun jab, man. And he can use that more effectively going forward. Shower says, oh, the chat is moving. We got Ricky Williams in the building. What's good, Ricky? He says he missed it. Who took it? Oshaki got that split decision. It should have been unanimous, but it was a split. Shower says, I wish he would have gotten on Nova about all that holding. Well, you know what? Listen. There were moments in the trenches and clinches where they both were holding one another, but for different reasons. Oshaki was holding him so he could position him to get some shots off on there, and Nova was holding Oshaki so Oshaki couldn't go on the inside and get those good hooks off against it. I was watching it very closely. But again, Steve Wills, good referee, man. Very good referee. ATX, Big Cletus is in the building saying, salute Stormy B, man. What's happening with you, bro? And Anthony Bolton says, Steve Wills is my favorite ref because he enjoys watching a good fight while he's working. Yeah, if you ever catch Steve Wills' expressions and stuff during the fight, man, he's about as hilarious. Excuse me. He's about as hilarious as they come, man. It's like Steve Wills' reactions and everything. And he's a comedian too, but it's just good to see a good referee, you know, not assert himself over the fighters. And that's something that he doesn't do. If you notice, when he looked and saw Nova go down in the 12th, he definitely checked the timekeeper outside the ring to make sure that it was a knockdown, and they had no choice but to call that because that left hook landed on the chin, and then he went down. So it was a good call. Great moment for Oshaki there. And that was with the left. Imagine if his right wasn't hurt, man. If his right arm wasn't hurt. He was doing some good work out there tonight. Both fighters gave good efforts. It's just that Abraham Nova was kind of like non-committal in some instances. Why a judge had him 114 to 113, I don't know, man. I don't know about that. That judge right there, you know, take his judge's card, man, because that was some bull crap right there. Bull crap. Williams says those uppercuts Foster was throwing was nice. The uppercuts and left hooks on the inside. Man, he threw a left hook to Nova's body in the middle rounds, and Nova kind of stepped back. It looked like he was getting ready to go into the bathroom and do a number 2 or something, man. He was like, he felt that. But a great fight between these two young men. Very entertaining. You got a chance to see a lot of skills out there, and it was very competitive, you know. It wasn't a lopsided thing, but I had Oshaki winning like 10 rounds to 3. Yeah. That's how I had it. Now, the previous fight, that WBC junior lightweight fight between what's his name? Brian Chevalier and Andres Cortez. Listen, man, that fight right there, Chevalier was like, he was not in a good position at all. That fight was kind of, you know, I don't know. 4th round TKO victory for Cortez. Chevalier didn't look like he belonged in that fight. He didn't belong. Some of the commentators were saying something about maybe he had a bad weight cut or something, but it was a bad decision to take the fight because that damn Cortez jumped out on him, man. Just like mosquitoes jump on you in the summertime when you're sweating, huh? He was on him. Yeah, so that was an interesting little co-main. For whatever reason, they had that as the co-main. But let me talk about the brother Bruce Shoo Carrington. Listen, if you guys want to see a good young fighter that look like he may be going places, Shoo Carrington is something special. A lot of fighters might think they're special. They may tell you that they're special, but the proof may be in their performances. And I saw something out of Shoo this evening, people. He was fighting that young man, Bernard Torres from the Philippines, and Torres came out strong. He came out prepared, and he was looking to fight. And once Carrington got his, I guess you could say, got loose in the fight. And why the fighters don't come to the ring now? None of these guys this evening came to the ring with a sweat. That just irks the hell out of me. You need to come into the ring with a sweat. That means you've warmed up properly. But Shoo, by that 3rd round, had began to show us something. And the KO happened in the 4th. But that punch that he hit Torres with, caught Torres in between the combinations that Torres was throwing. It was a right hook that was a short punch, you guys. Very short on the chin. And that boy fell like Manny Pacquiao fell when Juan Manuel put him to sleep. It was rough. Shoo is no joke, man. No joke at all. Featherweights. He's going to be someone to reckon with before the end of this year. And they got to get him out of New York, though. He's got to fight somewhere else. The New York guys is great. You're from your home city and all of that. But don't be that big fish in a small pond. Swim the seas. But I see big things ahead for that young man. Yeah. So, but man, there's a lot of very good young fighters out there in boxing today. Some are at that prospect stage. Some are transitioning from prospect to, pretender, not quite contender. And I'm going to tell you, these guys that's at the top that don't want to fight each other and everything, the sport is going to pass them by. I've talked about this being a lot like the NFL when you have position players. And they might have a strong contract with the team. But when next year draft happen and there's a number 1 draft pick or a first rounder or a second rounder that could come to that team and play that same position for less money, hey man, sometimes you get cut. Well, you're going to see some of these fighters get cut, because I'll tell you, it is very interesting to watch these young men coming up, because they're fearless and they want it all, and they're hungry. Some of these older fighters resting on their laurels when they haven't even done anything yet. There's something to be said about that. And I'm just saying, be mindful. Stormybman and already told you. I said that some of these guys won't even be remembered a few years from now. And some of these other fighters are going to come up and make you forget about them. Yeah. Anthony Bolton says Nova must have hired someone from the Muppets of Sesame Street to make his mascot outfit. It's really good. Man, that's one of the best damn mascots I've seen to look like an individual. It looked just like him, bro. It's like when you see that damn mascot, you know that's Abraham Nova, man. It's like, it's just, and I was talking with someone earlier about it. It's just a great conversation piece. You're in the sport of boxing, and you got a mascot, and the mascot look just like you. That's some awesome stuff right there. Yeah. Shava says, man, Tiger did well too. I like the change I saw in him. Yeah, I watched a little bit of him, but he's a little further away than some of these other fighters. But yeah, he's been in the gym with Bud and all them guys, so he's coming along. Keyshawn and them. Yeah. William says Shushu got some crack in those hands. He absolutely does. Learn is here saying salute Stormy, great fight. I had it 117 to 110 after I recalculated. That's about right. And you saw Oshaki fight far more than you saw Teofimo fight, right? And Teo was able to get a scorecard like that. Are you serious? Are you serious? You know, BFTB talked about that before I tuned in. Before I started my live, he was saying, how does Teo run away unanimously in a fight that many people felt he lost, and then in a fight where Oshaki pretty much dominated, he gets a split decision? What the hell is going on with boxing, man? This is unacceptable. Unacceptable. William says, one young man I got my eye on is Jaleel Hackett. That kid goes to the body hard. William, not worth talking about at this time, man. He's at that early stage. They putting him in with guys to bowl over and everything. No. I understand it's nice to try to look and try to play Nostradamus and be like, you know what? I got a feeling tonight's gonna be a very good night. That don't mean it is, huh? Half of these guys that you see starting out as decent prospects won't be a year from now or 2 years from now. I'm telling you. Yeah. You'll see what I'm talking about. Remember that guy, Berlangula, Count Berlangula, the biter Huh? Top Rank had him too, didn't they? And whatever happened to Elvis? Huh? Yeah. See? Whatever happened to Big Baby? Huh? I'm only 23. Huh? I'm only 23. Danny Dubois out here fighting, calling out champions and potential champions and everything. And this dude running around with a little lapdog, huh? Talking about, I'm only 23. Huh? Fighting a bunch of dudes you never knew. Nah. Prince Charles Martin is the god of Jared Anderson. Yeah. Yeah. I'm only 23. Riding around with guns in the car and weed and all that. What are you trying to do, man? Huh? You trying to make Mark Kriegel's list? Huh? Sit your butt down somewhere. Big Baby. You know, that's what's wrong now. You guys get these nicknames, Little this and Baby that and all of that. Be a man. Stop all that foolishness. He done give the number 23 a bad look. Michael Jordan don't even want to wear it no more. Shoot. Chump. The foolishness, man. If y'all see Stormy sitting up here with a comfort pet, unsubscribe. That's all I'm going to tell you. Because it's like, what is that? Huh? You big, giant, heavyweight bum. You running around here with comfort pets, man. Hey, running around. Sitting in the damn stands with his head in his mama's bosom. Lay your head on my pillow. Man, if you don't get your big weak butt out of here somewhere, what's wrong with you? They was gonna try to step him up after Prince Charles Martin, but after Martin hurt him in that fight, everything went kaput, huh? Including his confidence and everything. You guys know that heavyweight that Top Rank got, that Taurus dude who was a silver medalist? He can whoop Jared Anderson right now. That dude right there. He can whoop him. Ain't nobody calling for that fight though, is they? Huh? You know the dude that got the damn, what's his name? The porn star mustache and the curly perm, looking like Ron Jeremy. Yeah. Big Guido could beat him. You see Guido tonight whooping on that dude from New York? Listen, man. Guido Gianelli, you know, I thought that they was trying to call him, what's his name? You know, the Gino Vanilli, the dude that sing, I just wanna stop and tell you how I feel about you, babe. Remember that guy? That was Guido's cousin or something. He fought tonight. He beat that dude up in the first round, man. They let that guy beat. That dude might have brain damage after that fight in that first round, man. He hit that dude with an uppercut, and the dude was laying on the canvas looking at the lights like this, like, trying to figure out what I'm looking at. And the ref was like, get up. And that ref, man, Antonio Tarver's cousin as the referee. What's that dude's name, man? Dude look like a charcoal milk dud, huh? Coming out there, get up, he tells him. And the dude was like, he was KO'd right then, but they made him fight on. What kind of mess is that? What kind of mess is that, y'all? Please, somebody in the chat explain that to me. Why did they let that brother get his butt whooped like that tonight? It was on TV. Come on, man. You mean to tell me that the good fellas was saying, leave him alone, let him fight? I'm like, no, the dude is finished, man. He got pounded into submission, man. And the worst part of it, y'all, this is the worst part of it. I'm sorry, but I got to point it out. Y'all could go back and watch it for yourself. When they finally waved the fight off, if it was over, right? When they went over there and the doctors was looking at him, dude had a tear in his eye, man. He was crying. He was crying, y'all. He was crying. You know what? He was crying because they let him take that ass whooping on national TV, man. And he knew it. He was like, man, why y'all do me like that? And the doctor was like, you okay? You okay? He was like, no, man. Gino Vanelli, I just wanna stop. He didn't even stop. He kept hitting the dude all behind the head and everything. And Antonio Tarver's uncle wouldn't even stop the fight, man. Wouldn't even stop the fight. He's a horrible referee. I had something to say about him the last time I saw him on the ESPN card. He did some funny business. That milk dud head dude, every time you see that guy, you know, boycott M&M's. So that's all I'm going to say. Huh? Especially the chocolate ones. Yeah. Man, it's ridiculous. And they'll have you thinking that, oh, boxing is, you know, it's so corrupt, man. They need to stop this foolishness. They really do. And we gluttons for punishment because we come back every week to tune in to this foolishness. Bad judges, milk dud head refs, letting fighters get killed to death. I mean, damn. You know? What the hell? Y'all know I ain't lying. I'm telling the truth, man. These refs out here and the judges and everything. What kind of foolishness is this, man? What they doing? Let me hear from my man Focus Ball, huh? Focus Ball.
Get ready to take your striking game to the next level with the Focus Ball. Dramatically improved footwork, timing, head movement, hand-eye coordination, reflex, and overall fight IQ. It's lightweight and extremely portable, so you can train every time, everywhere. When you don't have a coach to do mitt work, get a Focus Ball. When you don't have a heavy bag to hit, get a Focus Ball. When you don't have a sparring partner, get yourself a Focus Ball. And when you just want to have fun punching and kicking, get a Focus Ball. When you train with the Focus Ball, you train your eyes and your brain to read punches so that you can hit and not get hit. Making this very simple device a must-have for all combat sports athletes and enthusiasts alike. So if you want to take your striking game to the next level, don't wait. Get the Focus Ball now.
Yeah. Better get you some of that merchandise, man. Listen, it's been a good night of boxing. I'm not going to hold you guys all night long. Came in and talked about these good fighters. Nova and Foster put on a very good show this evening. I may even watch that again, but I'm going to watch that DAZN card first. And then Bruce Shoo Shoo Carrington, the one to watch. That's my nickname for him, the one to watch, because that young man appears to be having a moment of breakthrough and breakout in his career. So he bears watching. But I want to say salute to the mighty LDBC, everybody that came out to show a little, love as far as hitting the like button, and those who just wanted to hear a little bit about what I had to say on these fights this evening. I appreciate each and every one of you. Appreciate you guys and your being out there in the chat, and the comments and everything. Yeah. But we'll catch you guys on the next one. Enjoy your weekend. And hey, man, you know what it is. It's the post-fight show with Stormybman. Yeah.